Well, good morning, everyone, and I welcome you to this particular class, which is Marketing Concept and Skills Development for Entrepreneur. It's a class that you need to know about what marketing is all about, the skills you need to develop, the marketing concept, and how you are going to apply this in your daily activities, particularly that has to relate to your business. The class is going to be in this format. As I'm doing the presentation, if you let me finish, and then you note your questions, and then we can then take the questions one after the other, and of course we do the clarification of what you need to know about the particular question. In the class, we want to know exactly why you are in business. Why are you in this class? Why do you want to gain more knowledge about your business? The way you do things in the past, and the way you want to be doing things now, and of course in the future. And I'm sure in your class of mindset, in the organization of your crafting your mindset, it's very necessary that you develop a new mindset in approaching your business. The first thing you need to know about why you are in business is you want to make money. The three reasons are there on the screens for you to see: to make money, to save money, and of course to grow the business. You cannot grow the business without making money, and you cannot grow the business without saving money. So in the course of this lecture, I will touch very briefly on how you make money, how to save money, and of course how to grow the business. These are the three reasons why you are here anyway. You want to make money, save, and then to grow your business. Basically, the objectives of this module is we expect all of you as an active participant to have a very good understanding of the concept and skills of marketing development, and of course, as I said before, how to apply this in real life situation. The outline we are going to be looking at is what is marketing, the definition of marketing. Everyone says marketing here, and all of that. And of course, in reality, whatever you do, you say, I'm marketing this, I'm a marketing manager, I'm a marketing executive, I'm a marketing director, and all of that. What exactly do you mean by marketing? Is there any difference between marketing and sales? Then we'll be looking at concept of marketing. We'll be looking at marketing mix, those mixes that we need to know, those parameters that you need to put together for you to carry out your marketing function properly, and how to develop marketing plan using SOSTAC planning system, and the key resources for market development, and of course basic steps to product development, if you still have the time to look at that very briefly. So, introduction is what is marketing. And as I said, even if I ask the class now what marketing is, you will come up with different definitions of marketing. But for this class, and for you in particular, marketing management is a process of responsible in identifying. First, please read every word of it, identification of what the customers need. You anticipate what that need is and go ahead to satisfy the customer's requirements. You are not just going to satisfy the customer requirements at your own detriment. No, because as I said before, you are in business to make money, and so you are going to satisfy your customer's need or their requirements profitably. So that is what marketing is all about. Marketing management, as I said, is the process responsible for identification, for anticipating, and of course for satisfying your customer's requirement in a more profitable manner. And as an entrepreneur, of course, that's what you need to know And that's what you need to apply on a daily basis. How do I satisfy my customer? And how do I ensure that even in the process of satisfying my customer, I'm also equally happy? Marketing can also be defined as a set of human activities, of course, focused on customer needs and directed at facilitating and creating exchange. What do I mean? When you have something to sell, a product or services to render, and the value of that product is what we're going to sell, the value of that service that's what we're going to sell, and I'm buying your services or I'm buying your product, the exchange, what I'm paying for it, what I'm parting with. That's the money that I have to pay for you. That is the exchange that is involved here. And of course, in all human endeavor, in our daily activities, right starting from your domestic front, we all practice what marketing is all about. You practice marketing with your wives, with your children, with your neighbors, everything. And so it is everything you put together to facilitate what we call sales, and of course sales of services, and of course sales of products. So in a nutshell, marketing particularly has to do with you getting to know what your customers need, how do you satisfy that need, and how do you ensure that your customer is happy and that you are happy at the end of the day. Now, in order to satisfy the customer's need, there are certain parameters that need to put in place, that we need to put together. And those parameters or those elements, we call them marketing mix. It's like you want to have a balanced diet. You want to cook rice, you want to mix it with beans, you want to mix it with fried plantain, and of course with fish or meat, and you mix them together. We call them balanced diet. And so in marketing, we want to know what is balanced marketing or balanced diet in marketing, and we call it marketing mix. And what are these marketing mix? Traditionally, we have 4 of this marketing mix. I mean, you need to have a good knowledge of your target market, which is very crucial in developing your marketing mix plan. People are very important. Who are they? And these 4 marketing mix are the most important factors used in developing marketing plans. Your product, number 1, because if you don't have anything to produce, you don't have anything to price. And you don't have anything to produce, what do you want to distribute? If you don't have anything to produce, for instance, what do you want to promote? So all these 4 are the traditional marketing mix, as it were. But today, the evolving of marketing in the 21st century has enlarged this marketing mix. The basket of this mix has enlarged into about 9, 7, even sometimes even 12. But we want to consider 3 more so that we have a balanced marketing mix, which of course to be enough for this class as entrepreneur. The 7 marketing mix are product, as I said, the price, the place, and the promotion. The other 3, which is very important, which of course we have been, it wasn't, in those days it was not neglected, but they didn't see it as a factor, as an important factor to be considered. But today, we looked at people, which is very important, is a great asset for any organization. And please mark this. In your own small company, as it's coming up, people is very key. The process is very key. We'll be looking at what processes. The physical ambience of your business is also very key. That's the physical environment of where your business is operating from. So those are the 7 marketing mix that we are going to be considering in the next couple of minutes. Can I go ahead? Is there any question? Please note this down. Okay. Number 1 is product. And this is what you offer to your customer. What do I mean by product? Look at this Bible in front of me, or that I'm holding. It's a product. It's tangible. And I want to sell this product to the customer. What am I selling? Am I selling just the biro? But no, I'm selling the mix of the means of writing. You know, it's like water. What are you selling? You are not just selling water, but you are selling the value of quenching your thirst. So it is the value offering that you are actually selling, and so that is what we call product. So product may be tangible, as I said initially, or intangible, which could be service. When designing a product, customer perception is very key. And what do I mean by customer perception? How you perceived a particular product. How product A is perceived is different from how product B is perceived. Or even customer A and B could be looking at the same product A for instance, but their perception of that product is quite different. So you need to take the perception of the product into consideration when you are developing a product. A product is meant to attract target market, hence while formulating the marketing strategy, product decisions are taken into consideration. And these decisions, ladies and gentlemen, includes the following. What do customers want? This is part of the perception. What I actually want, you need to know. What's the appearance and the packaging of that product? You need to consider this. How do they want it? For instance, in poultry business, not everyone can afford one crate of eggs. It's about 30 or 36 in a crate. And you will need to take eggs. So, how are you going to package your products in such a way that those who cannot afford one crate of eggs will also have access to buy 3, 6, 9 eggs? As you know, as the pockets of that customers allowed. In what color, in what texture, in what fragrance, all of this needs to be considered when you are looking at, when you are taking product decisions. The functionality of the product is also very key. What function? For instance, Bible, what is the function? It's not the aesthetic, it's not the beauty of it, the aesthetics alone that matters. But does it write well on every paper? There are some Bible you put on paper, it will refuse to write. And you put it on another different paper, it will write. So you look at all of those, the functionality of your product. Then the brand name is very important. In fact, there's a module that focuses on brand development for entrepreneurs. Brand name is important. It's important because you need to identify yourself, you need to separate yourself from the crowd. So if you have a brand name, you need to consider, you need to safeguard such brand name. Then installation, in case if you are into some technical product like electrical appliances and all of that. Then after sales services is very important. And then the warranties is very, very important. Warranties are promised from business organization. It's a written promise. Okay? And you need this warranty. If you go to buy something from a pressing iron or a television set, there's a warranty they will give you, and the warranty could last about 6 months, 1 year. It depends on the quality of the product you are buying, and of course the maker of that product. So all of these items are what you consider when you are taking your product decisions. The next marketing mix element is price. Note that it's a very critical element when we come to bottom line consideration of any business. Price is very important. How much are you going to sell the products you are manufacturing? How much are you going to sell the services you are trying to provide for people? What are those factors you need to put together when you are considering price decisions? Now, how much should customer pay for a product? Does the product reflect the quality of your offering? For instance, what are the strategies you want to put in place the payment period, the discounts, the credit terms, all of these things need to be considered when you are looking at taking pricing, looking at your pricing decisions. Now, how do you evaluate your price of a particular product? How do you increase your price, for instance? How do you change your price? Now, it's appropriate time to inform clients that your rates are going to be increased. Is it? Is it the normal thing that, in reality, is it normal that you need to inform your customer, look, it's also time the next 2 weeks the price is going to change? Sometimes yes, you can, but in most cases, for you who is selling, you want to, so that customers can offtake your products in large quantity. But for the buyers, or for those who's going to buy, it's a different kettle of fish altogether. Take for instance, if petroleum price needs to be increased, the pump price, the sellers, the petrol owners, they wouldn't like it. Sometimes they do like it to increase the price, but when they say they should bring the price down, they feel very reluctant. But it is important that you let your customer know about your pricing decision when it comes to either you want to increase your price or you want to increase your rate per whatever you are selling, or you want to lower the rate of whatever you are selling. One thing is very clear, that you don't want to overprice yourself out of the market, which is, of course, is very necessary. Yet, you should not bear the burden of cash flow shortage either. Then, you give your customers a month or 2 advance notice. Should you decide to increase your price? Do you do that? Do any of you in this class do that? I don't think so. Because you know that if you do that, they will want to stock at the old price. And when eventually your price increase, nobody comes to buy for a very long time. But those are some of the things that you need to consider. So what are the basic pricing strategy for entrepreneurship or for an entrepreneur like you? Number 1 is cost-based pricing. What do I mean by cost-based pricing? Setting price based on direct and indirect cost, then adding the profit margin desired to this cost. I think I need to demonstrate this in a flip chart, that you have a price, having manufactured, having put all your raw materials and the elements you are going to use together, you want to determine the price of your product. You have a base price. The cost of production is X, for instance. You cannot sell at X price, because if you sell at X price, you may not be able to meet other expenses that you must incur. So you want to sell at X plus Y price. So that extra Y price will cover some other of your overhead cost. Then you add profit margin. Remember, I told you earlier on that you are in this class, you are in this program because you want to make money, you want to save money, and you want to grow the business. How do you save money if you are not making adequate profit to cover your cost? Cost-based pricing is one strategy. The other one is prevailing market price. You determine this price. This price is determined based on market forces. You cannot price yourself out of the competitors' price, or what the competitors are also charging in the marketplace. You need to look at it, but before you can compete with your competitors, you need to look at your own cost structure in-house. If your cost structure in-house is higher, or you are not managing your cost structure the way it should be, you may not be able to match with competition. Take for instance, the ruling price in the market for a particular product is say 10 naira, for instance. And already your cost of production at this time is almost 9 naira. So, what do you do? What do you do? Because if you want to go by that price, you are not likely to make any profit. So you need to determine your costing structure very adequately. The raw materials you are buying, you need to buy competitively. All other overheads, you need to be able to manage them very well. All costing that are under your control, like the raw material, like your cost of transportation, and the rest, you need to control them very adequately. But those prices that are, those costs that are not under your control, like electricity, for instance, like petrol to run your generators and all of that, you need to manage the way you use some of those, avoid waste in the use of some of those things. Then the other areas we want to look at is penetration pricing. This pricing is relatively low, initial entry price. You want to penetrate the market as much as possible. You set your own price slightly below the market rate. And of course, this will attract new customers. But again, you may have to contend with your competitors who will strongly go against it. If you are in a cartel or if you are in an association, and almost all business in Nigeria today, they have their own association one way or the other. So, but it is a way of entering the market very quickly. Other pricing strategy is skimming. And what do I mean? Here is, if you are more or less a monopoly, you are the only one, first entrance into the market, there's no competitors all around you, and you want to charge as much as possible to rake in more money initially. So price skimming is a way for a manufacturer to take advantage of his temporary monopoly in the marketplace. And this is going to be for a very short time, maybe 3 months, sometimes 6 months, even up to 1 year, before competitors begin to come in. You cannot stop competitors from coming into that. But do you even have any particular kind of business that is that fall into this category? Hardly do you. But it's another pricing strategy, price skimming. So those are the 4 different price strategy that we can adopt. Depends on what kind of business you are doing. Okay. Now, one thing again we want to look at, as the slide shows, how profit is defined. The block that is showing blue is your sales. That is your total turnover for a particular period of time. It could be for 1 month, it could be for a quarter, it could be for a whole year. But that block of blue is your total sales, your total turnover for a particular period. The one in light yellow is cost of sales. That is what it entails, what you have put together, what it costs you to produce that particular product. If you are in poultry farm, for instance, what is your cost of sales? The feeds you use to feed in the birds, water, medication, and all of that put together. Cost of sales are those variables, those cost elements that go directly to producing that particular product. You need to determine that. So you take the cost of sales, the cost of producing that particular product, away from your total sales. What you have is what is known as gross profit. That is the white block on the screen. But that is not, again, your profit yet. You cannot touch that profit, your gross margin, because there are other operating cost elements, expenses that are yet to be deducted. Salaries, for instance, fueling cost of your generator, electricity, and other variables, elements. You know, the cost of licensing, the cost of you pay to one local government, the regulatory authorities, and all of that will come under operating cost. Those costs that will enable you to operate your business need to be taken from your gross margin before you can now arrive at your net profit. Now, if we use figure to demonstrate this thing. Now, if your total sale is 700,000, for instance, and your cost of sale is 500,000, your gross margin is what? Class is 200,000. Now, that 200,000, it is not your money. It's not your money at all, so you can't touch, you can't spend it anyhow. You still need to deduct all other operating expenses. And if your operating expenses is about 150,000, that is if you manage it properly, then you are left with net profit of 50,000. And that 50,000, well, we can say it's net profit. Well, it is still not your money, because you need to, out of this net profit, you need to set aside that particular money that you need to grow the business with. Remember, the reason why you are in business is to make money, to save money, and to grow the business. You want to grow that business from that your net profit, so that as business progresses, you don't have to rely on bank loan again to finance your business. If you are setting aside a certain percentage of your net profit to grow that business, the person that are working with you, all they know, if you keep adequate record and your book is not open to everyone, is that your sales figure, and that sales figure is 700,000. So the person working with you, your sales clerk, it could be your cousin, your nephew, your in-law, they only have the figure 700,000. And they say, uncle is rich, madam is rich, so person, and that's the figure they now broadcast to your people. And that is not your money, because they are quite unaware of the cost of sales, which you need to take off. They are not aware on the operating cost, which you need to take off. So that's why bookkeeping, record keeping, and good financial transaction of accounting is necessary for your business. And this is one reason why, again, you should make your business open to people that are working with you, so that they know exactly what the business is actually earning, so that before you begin to put hand into your sales revenue as if it is your money, as well be here today, one party there tomorrow, and all of that, and before you know what's happening, your business is gone down. So this is how it is in reality for any business operation. Now, one of the other marketing mix elements is the place, and the place is the right distribution strategy which you need to put in place. Not everyone can come to your business center or to your business where you are producing your business and come to buy your product. You may need a middle person to handle your product. In any case, your product must be at the right place for people to access, so that they can pick it at the times they want it. Placement decisions is very important. Where are your customers? How do I reach them? Am I going to sell directly to them? There are some business that you need to sell directly, and there are some business that need to go through middlemen. All these decisions need to be taken into consideration. And the next one from that traditional marketing is promotion. How do I get to know? How do I get people to know about my product? You need to consider what medium or what channel you are going to use to get your product across to people. Your awareness level needs to be very high. And the traditional awareness level channels we use are still also very relevant, but they could be very expensive. But today you have very many cheap way of getting people to know about what you are doing, about your services, about your product, about your business as a whole. And some of these things are radio, television, posters, and all of that. Now you have WhatsApp, you have blogging, you have so many other, cheap means of getting your people to know about your product. I've listed some of them. You can see that on the screen. And of course, the promotional decision must be very effective and must be very efficient. The next one, which I need to emphasize very quickly, and I need to demonstrate a little bit of value concerning this, the fifth one, is people. People are your most important elements in your production factor. And the more you engage them, the more you value them, the more they add value to your product, the more they add value to your services. Today, we have knowledge workers, employees, management, and other consumers. And they have significant value to the total product or service offering you are giving to people. So you need to handle them with care. Your recruitment must be very selective and must be very thorough. Sometimes it's formal, sometimes it's informal. But whichever way you want to recruit people that are going to help you in your business, you must take note of the following. Attitudes is very important. Appearance of the staff is very important. The level of service-mindedness of the organization is very important. Are people accessible? Are your people, can they access you? Can your people access customers, or can customers access them? Those are some of the things you need to consider. And we will still consider this one when it comes to attitude and competence in the slides that is coming very soon. The physical evidence is also very important. That's your environment in which your product is produced or services is delivered. Building design is very important. How do you build your office? How do you design your production process in such a way that from one stage to the other there will be no hindrance? Nothing hampers your production flow. You need to design that. Your layout is very important. The furnishing, the internal decoration are very also important. Are they friendly? Is the office a place where people want to stay? Is your poultry a place where people want to stay for more than 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes or so without holding their nose or their noses? Goods associated with services are also very important to be considered. Packaging materials is very important. Is your packaging material acceptable? Or is it going to add to environmental pollution? All of these things need to be considered. And when you are setting your process, please ensure that your process is effective and efficient. And what is different between efficiency and effectiveness? As an entrepreneur, you need to be both efficient and very effective in everything you do. Can anyone differentiate between efficiency and effectiveness? Yes. Anyone? Okay, let me just quickly differentiate that to you. Efficiency and effectiveness, the way I normally teach this in class is, please, you come out, yes, you, and yes, and you, 3 of you. A, is the marketing manager. B is the accountant. And C is the sales executive. These three are in the same organization. The marketing manager has been looking for business in order to ensure that their half-year budget is met. And so they've been talking to the external customer that's going to give them that business. Now, the day the business click, or the day the external customer now asks them to come and pick up the order for the business, the marketing manager happened to travel out of office. So the sales executive got this information, very happy, and went straight to the accountant that, look, I need to travel today to get the order which has been approved. And if we get this order, half of our budget for this year is as good as being met. Yeah, the accountant looked at him and said, well, do you understand the process? I mean, before the accountant went into his drawer and brought out the company policy that says, look, you cannot take any traveling in advance unless and until your immediate reporting, your immediate manager signs it. And the sales executive immediate boss is the marketing manager who has traveled out of the office. And this gentleman, the order must be given, he must go for that order today, otherwise they'll give it to they'll give it to their competitor, because they are not the only ones looking for that sales. But the accountant is very adamant that, look, your immediate boss must sign. I can't understand what you are saying, but your immediate boss has to sign. Ladies and gentlemen, the accountant in this scenario, which I've just painted, is very efficient. Oh yes. But it's not effective. Efficiency therefore has to follow process. Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You can go and sit down. Efficiency, ladies and gentlemen, is a process. When you follow one process to the other, it's efficiency. But effectiveness has to do with the bottom line, with the profit. So, it's with the profit. And as far as the accountant is concerned, is very efficient in his job. But as far as the salesperson is concerned, I mean, as far as the marketing department is concerned, accountant is not effective. So efficiency has to do with the process, while effectiveness has to do with the bottom line. So, ladies and gentlemen, that it is. So the process is a flow of activities by which services are consumed. Customer management services are essential elements of the marketing strategy, which include the degree of customer contact, application of TQM control standards, and all of that. Okay? And so this brings us to the next important slide in this marketing concepts and development. And I call this the loyalty ladder, the customer loyalty continuum. For any enterprise, or any enterprise that should aspire to be continually developing their customer relationship flawlessly, from the first point of contact to the end, must be very, very friendly. What do I mean? The first point of contact with a customer could be a suspect. You are in your shop in one Wednesday morning, like today, and you saw someone just looking around, just looking, trying to see whether he can enter, or just see him wandering around in your premises, in your area. That person is a suspect. A beautiful suspect, not the suspect like the Nigerian police will define their own suspect. No. No, you as an entrepreneur, what do? You quickly go out. Yes, can I help you, madam? Can I help you, sir? Oh no, I'm just looking around. Yes, but I know. Come in, and then you succeeded in bringing the suspect inside to see what you are doing, to see the kind of business you are doing. The moment the suspect is inside, it's no longer a suspect, it becomes a prospect. That is likely, if you handle that prospect very well, it could become a customer. By the time he looks at one or two things and is buying one item, or is promised to buy one item, it's a customer. And repeat customers becomes your clients. It comes often, and if you handle your customer very well, it turns out to be your clients. And if you handle your clients very well, it turns out to be your advocates. And what's an advocate? Everybody is, as an entrepreneur, you want to turn your suspect to become your advocate in the future. And this takes a period of about 3, 4, 5 months, even to up to 1 year. So, to secure a new customer, it takes a longer period of time, but you can lose that customer within 1 day, and we'll be looking at that in the coming slides. So everyone wants to have an advocate. If you develop your customer to become an advocate, you can sleep with your 2 eyes closed, because they are the one who is going to be advertising your products, your services to everyone, because of the way you handle them. Customer contact experience is very important. So, before we go into attitude or the supply chain and value aspect of this business, let's look briefly at your marketing plan. The marketing plan, what's marketing plan? You need to provide answer to the following questions. What products, services do I provide for the customer, for the market? You must know your product, you must know the service. Remember, when we are defining marketing, we define marketing as a discipline that first identifies what customers need. So what products do you produce? You go ahead to find out who is going to be the buyer, who are going to be your customer. Everybody cannot be your customer. And we're going to be looking at more details when we come to market segmentation. How do they want it? Going to be looking at the packaging. How do I get them to buy? We'll consider that when we are looking at the awareness, the promotion. Where are they? Are they very close to the source of, are they very close to my office or to my factory, or they are far away? How do I reach them? Distribution. How do I get them to buy? All of these need to be considered in your marketing plan. There's what we call SOSTAC planning system, which is one of the methods that can be applied for marketing planning. And what do I mean by SOSTAC? The first S here is situation analysis. You can see it on the screen. The O there stands for objectives, strategy, tactics, action implementation, and then control. In your marketing plan, you must be able to analyze the situation of your market, of your business, of your customers, of your competitors, by asking the question, where am I? Where are we today? Where am I today? Where is the business today? And then you look at the objectives. Where do I want to go after now? And immediately after that, you look at the strategy that will take you to where you want to go. The strategy is a roadmap that is going to take you to where you want to go at the end of the day. And And the taxes are those little, when you break the strategy into some little activities, that's what we call tactics. Operational. You take this, you do this, you do that. You know, you want to move from Ibadan to Lagos, for instance. What strategy are you going to adopt? You either go by vehicle, by motor car, a lorry, a bicycle, motorcycle, or if you like, you want to trek. There are strategies. Again, you need to be ensure of the tactics. Your tactics must correspond, must align with your strategy. If your tactics is not aligning with your strategy, then it becomes very difficult for you to achieve your objectives. So all these are very important when you are considering your marketing plan. And your marketing plan is also a part of your business plan, which of course is very important, which is very crucial, which is an important document you will need to produce at the end of your program. The next thing is action plan. Implementation, putting the plans together. How do I put them together to work? Your strategy without implementation is no strategy. So you must implement that strategy through your action tactical plans. And then you need to control. Is it going well as planned? If it's not going well as planned, go back a little and check. You can do back checking and find out where the problems are, where the challenges are. Are we getting there? Are we not getting there? You plan to make about 300,000 turnover in 3 months, and by the end of the first month you discover that you have not even made 1/3 of what you say you want to meet. So there might be problems of meeting that target at the end of 3 months. So you need to put control in place to ensure that what you say you will do are in perfect harmony with your strategy. So that is what the strategy, the SOSTAC planning system all entails. And then the next thing I want you to consider as in this entrepreneur class is what I call UEVP, Unique Entrepreneurial Value Proposition. Sometimes they call it unique value propositions and all of that, or unique organizational value proposition, whichever. But in this class, we want to look at it as entrepreneurial value proposition. And what do I mean? We want to consider the value chain profit of entrepreneur or of your business. What do I mean? Your employee, as I said before, they are very important. It's an asset. If your employees is not usual, if you don't have the correct set of staff, it's going to be a problem. Even if you have the correct set of staff and you are not treating them well, it's going to be a problem. Even with this digital economy, employees are still very important. If you mishandle your employees, they are likely to mishandle your customers. It's like someone who had a housemate or domestic staff, and you are not handling them well, and they are going to handle your children. What do you think they are going to do? So if you handle them well, they will handle anything that you are going to give them to do. They will handle them very well. So for value and service profit chain, for this class, for the purpose of this class, if the employees of your organization is satisfied, they will add value to your product, they will add value to your services. Now, if employees and customers are satisfied, what does it translate to? It translates to customer loyalty. They become your advocate. And when a customer becomes your advocate, You have loyal customers everywhere. It translates to profit. And when you have profit, of course your business will grow. So, result from highly quality support services and policies that enable employees to serve customers well will translate to to employee satisfaction. And you can see the arrow down the line. And created by satisfied, loyal and productive employees, we add value. It's a simple logic. If I'm happy, then why not? If EDC, that is my employer, he says it makes me happy, why not? I will deliver. But in addition to being happy, or people to make you happy, you must have passion for what you are doing. And so when you are recruiting, you must recruit people with passion for the kind of business you are doing. If they don't have passion for what you are doing, no matter what, they are not going to add value to that product or to that service. So a created, satisfied, loyal, productive employees will add value. In the same way, if you are influenced by a value service provided to the customers, and it will translate, as I've said before, to customer satisfaction, to employee satisfaction. If you are not there and your customer can handle things on your behalf satisfactorily, handle your customer satisfactorily, that is, you are adding value to your customer. The employee is adding value to himself or herself, is also adding value to the business, adding value to the customer, and your customer becomes loyal. Your employees becomes loyal. Loyal employees, loyal customer will translate to a very good profit, and of course the expansion of the business future is guaranteed. So, and the next slide also dovetails to what we just finished talking about on the value chain. Now, if people, knowledge, okay, let me put it this way, between knowledge and attitude, if you are recruiting an employer or an employee, for instance, who is very sound, first class, the knowledge is there, but again he has very poor attitude, what do? So we're going to be looking at knowledge and attitude. That is people skills. Now the knowledge takes just 15% of your competence. Your primary school education to universities and even to your master's level, to all the other courses you have attended and all of that, they only accounted for just 15%. And of course, the other 85% is your attitude. And experts, they have estimated that the 15% do not and cannot carry business successfully. No matter what you have, if someone comes to your business premises and your employee becomes very unruly, the business goes to another person, the customer goes to another person, and that's the end of that business. So, the bottom line of the whole thing is that when you are recruiting, you can train competence. You can train someone that is not too highly competent, but you can hardly train people with very poor attitude. So you look at the attitude first, and then before the knowledge. So this is very important. As young entrepreneur, you need to look at that. And just to buttress all the points, all the hangings, and then to just put them together, is you have people who belongs to the old generation. Some of your customer belongs to the old generation, and some of your customer belongs to the younger generation. as demonstrated by this picture. We have the elephant, which belongs to the older generation, slow, they want to do things the way they are doing it and all of that. But again, you have the cheetah, who represent the younger generation who wants to do things very fast. And so all you need to do is to ensure that you combine the two. Okay, both the old generation and the new generation, you care for them so that your business can also grow. We'll be looking at the last segment of this particular module, and which is market segmentation. And what do I mean by market segmentation? Because you cannot appeal to everybody at the same time. Your product and services cannot appeal to everyone at the same time. You need to segment your market. There are people whose just your little effort of about 20% will give you 80% of your turnover. So focus on those 20%. And don't dissipate your energy so wide, because it will not give you the expected result at the end of the day. So market segmentation is you are subsetting, you are dividing your customers into segments in the way they behave, the way of their wants, and the similar characteristics as the way to relate to the purchase of your products or services. So market segmentation allows for better allocation of your firm, of your business resources. You know your resources are limited, and so in order not to freight away your resources, the limited resources anyhow, you need to segment your market and focus on those areas that is going to give you the mileage to your business. With growing diversity in taste of modern consumers, I'm reading from the slides now, business must take cognizance of the benefits of servicing in multiplicities of new markets. And what do I mean? Market segmentation, we can approach it in either geographically, demographically, psychographically, or behaviorally. You can see it. So for each of these segments, you need to know which areas your business actually fit in. Now look at this picture. Here there's no market segmentation, and I'm not encouraging you to focus on the mass market. Some little drops from the ends of the market is okay, but which your business are you focusing on? If you are producing egg, for instance, your focus is not going to be on the elderly. Your focus is going to be on the younger generation, the children, and of course the growing adult. Take for instance Zobo. Zobo with ginger cannot appeal to the younger generation, to the children, but Zobo ginger will appeal to the elderly, 50 and above. So you need to segment your market. Here we have segment by gender, male, female. Here we have by age, the old people, the younger people, and the children. Now you discover that the best people, who you may think that they don't have good marketing knowledge and all of that, but their approach is very relevant and is very adequate. Those people selling ice cream along the street, in the traffic, they don't focus their target audience is the children in the car. They will go behind the car and they'll be showcasing that the ice cream, flagging the ice cream with the children, and the children will, of course, they'll be beating their mother, they'll be calling the attention of their mother, their father, daddy, ice cream, and all of that. And until when the father gets tired and say, where is this ice cream man? Stupid boy, what, how much you say it's your ice cream and all of that? And he said, what? It's 15. At the end of the day, how many of you, 5 of you, there's all the 5 and then that person selling ice cream has his target audience very adequately. He's not selling to the parents, because he knows that when the target audience put pressure on those who can pay, they will pay. So you need to segment your market very adequately. So, marketing proposition as aligned with entrepreneur. The current role of marketing management is to build a more deeper understanding of customers' value, to create a relevant customer proposition that entrepreneur can leverage on from time to time to deliver customer satisfaction. And of course, at a profit, as I said, I keep saying that, at a profit. Please note that every new day gives you a chance to move forward from your present situation. As you are here in this class today, you are moving forward from what you were yesterday. And by the time you finish this program, you will have moved forward a step or two ahead of others. You can move your business on a number of fronts. Either you increase your profit, reduce your losses, that is, focusing on your costing structure, get more customers, expand the market, become more visible in community, go public, etc., etc., in so many other ways. You must have vision of what you want to achieve, where you want to go, how you want to get there, what you want to be, or what you want the business to become in 3, 4, 5 years from today. Vision is very important, and because it's very critical elements in your business plan. Your vision and your mission is very key. So, as a class exercise, you can just note this. Okay? I said discuss reason why relationship marketing is crucial marketing concept, or it's a crucial marketing concept for long-term survival of an organization. You can take this, and then we could discuss this later. And again, we just look at briefly on total quality marketing. Quality is what customers say it is. How do you look at the quality of a product? The quality of a product must have 0 defects. Right first time. And continuous improvement is very important. 0 defects. And the very first time it must be right. Focus on that, it must be produced right first time. So that the cost of reworking will be eliminated, which could be very, very disastrous for a new business. And continue to put in place process that will continue to improve your business every day. So, this slide, of course, is very important. That is your relationship with your customers and all of that. But I will just look at this, the 10 rules for building a successful business from a man called Sam Walton. He's the founder of Walmart. He's an entrepreneur. He started just like you, and today it's a big multi-billion business all over the world. He has this to say, and I want to leave this with you. Commit to your business every day. Share your profits with all your associates and treat them as partners. Motivate your partners. Communicate everything you possibly can to your partners. Appreciate everything your associates do for you, your employees do for your business. Celebrate your success. We have achieved this month's target. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I need to appreciate you. We may not have much now, but in my appreciation to you, let's just share this together. You get 1 or 2 bottles of minerals and all of that, and granite, and then you share it. It's the spirit behind it that matters, not what you're actually sharing at that point in time, but you have appreciated their effort. It matters. A pat on the back. And I will recommend you to read the book 1 Minute Manager for those of you who have access to it. Because as an entrepreneur, you must continue to read to enlarge your skills, your knowledge, your vision. Okay? Celebrate your success. Listen to everyone in your company and get them talking. Allow people to talk. Give them freedom to express themselves about what they think, how the business should be run. Okay? Don't muffle people's voices, as otherwise they will just say, well, I mean, you have said everything, sir, it's just okay. No, that's not okay. Don't encourage that kind of employees, and be a boss that is open to everyone. Control your expenses better than your competition, and of course sweep upstream when things are even getting tougher. So the way you can cut your business cost are some of these things. Okay, even if you have secure funding from investors, like you are going to secure funding from from banks and CBN and all of that, other sources, you need to constantly look for ways to reduce your costs. Please, it's very important. From making double-sided paper copies to ordinary shipping supplies in bulk, you can reduce wasted materials and all of that. These are some of the areas you can also adopt to reduce costs. The result is an improvement in your company's bottom line at the end of the day. That's what it is. And so, good employees are hard to find. Make sure that you handle your employees very well. Check to see if they are getting what they need and make them part of the team. Help them understand the importance of their role in your business and how their job inspires from the business as a whole. Review your relationship with your employees and find ways to keep your relationship happy and avoid costly attrition and all of that. Then the last slide is develop a business networking. It's very important. If you want your business to grow, then have a good business networking. Business networking is more cost-effective method of generating new business, new ideas. Go to relevant workshops, seminars, and parties that you think will add value to your business. Not areas where you are going to be fretting out your money and all of that. Only you want to be, just to know who you are. They may know who you are for a short while, but when your business is gone, everybody moves away. So relate to relevant people that will add value to your business. Okay. And so reduce cost of running your business is very important. Provide support for each other is very, very important. And the last slide is marketing is the soul of every business. Do you agree with this statement? This is a take-home exercise, and I want you to discuss this, okay, in groups for the remaining part of the day. The 30 minutes we still have that is remaining, you can discuss this. Marketing is the source of every business. So you can divide yourself into groups, and then we look at it again. Then the role of marketing is to create, develop, and keep customers. In the course of this lecture, do you agree with the statement? If yes, give reasons, and if no, support your assertion. So, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see some other time. Thank you.